Order the regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting for Saline Area Schools for Tuesday, July 9, 2013. I invite you to join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a point in the meeting where we have public comment from the audience. Are there any members of the audience who wish to address the board this evening? Okay. Assistant Superintendent Signer. Freudian slip there, sorry. No pay raise.
Yeah, well, subbing in for Scott tonight, so thanks for having me. A couple of report items we want to talk about. Last time we did speak a little bit about MME scores coming in for the high school, and just wanted to reiterate, we had Saline High School was tops in the county in all 5 of the subject areas. And another thing that I thought was great this time, and something we sometimes don't pay enough attention to, is they also break those scores down just by special needs students as well. And sometimes we wonder, well, how are we being effective with our special education students as well? 4 out of 5 categories with just the special ed students, we also posted the highest marks in Washington County, or Washington County. I think that's important to sometimes break it apart like that and saying, not only with our top end students, but with some of our students that are struggling, we're also making some great progress in that area, so I wanted to point that out. We also have been in an exciting time with a lot of new hires in the district. We've had a lot of retirements, and Mr. Ellis has been doing a really nice job of organizing the process, which has involved lots of interviews and lots of calls about finding out qualifications for candidates. And so in the back of your packet, you're going to see a list up to date of where we're at right now on new hires, and it's across the board with various positions at the elementary levels, middle and high school, and a variety of experiences coming in from all these candidates as well. We're really excited about it because we're bringing in a lot of new talent, but also some experienced talent, and it's really important that we balance that because we're losing a lot of veteran leadership, and we want to make sure that when we replace that talent, that it supports our individual grade levels and departments the right way, and to take the best candidates possible within our means, and we feel like we've done that, and Mr. Ellis has done a really nice job on that. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Mr. Ellis, but terrific job.
It's just an exciting thing for us to be able to do. I mean, the teachers are the people that deliver for us in front of the students on a daily basis, and so they're clearly our key employees, and to have this many to be able to interview and hire, as Mr. Losh said, a real nice mix of veteran and then some newer folks as well. So we're excited about this. The onboarding process has begun. We'll do some new teacher orientation activities in August, and then they'll join up full bore here in the end of August.
Right. So we talk about, the hiring of staff is maybe the most important thing we do, and we treat it that way. We spend a lot of time on this process working through to make sure that we're getting the best possible candidate pool. So the other focus here is strategic framework. We want to make sure we're touching on that at every meeting, and the board realizes that we're going through a process of setting some dates in the calendar of when we're going to be reviewing it, rolling it out to staff, making certain that we have our focus on the goal areas and that we keep progressing, and we'll give you updates as we go. We also have an exciting leadership training happening in August, at the end of August, August 20th and 21st. We're bringing in the Leadership and Learning Center. They're out of Englewood, Colorado, and they've done a lot of great work on teacher leadership. We pay for this using Title II funds, and a lot of research supports that it's your teacher leaders that need to make it all tick within the district, that we help coordinate that, but our teachers help deliver professional development for their colleagues, for themselves, so that we're growing all the time. So we're having a 2-day training for our department chairs, our grade level chairs, some of our reading training teachers are coming. So we'll have about 40 to 45 teachers there, along with the principals and administrative support centrally. So we're looking forward to that. And that all supports goal number 4, action step 4. And action step 4 is district-wide leadership development. We need to do a better job of developing our teachers as leaders, and we're looking forward to doing that. Another goal in the strategic framework, communication. We mentioned this in the spring. We're sending a weekly email to all of the staff and the entire community that dumps in through Power School, making sure that people have weekly updates on what's going on in the district. And we think that's important to continue. We're taking a break in the summer. That'll start up again in August, so that weekly they're getting updates on what's happening in the district, because we're really trying to enhance that as one of our action steps. Goal 3, action step 2, communicate with district residents regularly about Saline area schools. Finally, just a staff highlight. The other day, I was at the public library, and Sherry Harsh and Kathy Wilkinson, which are 2 of our special education teachers, were offering a free workshop for multiple days for students at the middle school level to teach them about assistive technology, how to better their learning with iPads and all of those technology tools. And that just goes to show you that, you know, our teachers are working all the time on things like this, and it's really exciting to see, and think that it's great. And then finally, just wanted to compliment Janice doing a terrific job on the method of breaking down the transparency of the budget so that we all can understand it and make sure that it's easy enough for us to wrap our minds around what's going on. And so she's done a terrific job with that. And that's what I have.
Okay. Any board members have any comments?
It's nice to see that we're getting on the levels, the levels that they're coming in, a nice kind of 50-50 split on new and experience just based on needs. So
Kind of used the whole concept of a salary cap when we were
There you go.
these discussions. You can't have too many high-priced veterans, so.
we had the discussion about, you know, what do you do when you get all these experienced people and trying to do that. The other thing I had is Janice found my target money.
Yes.
So she wants to tell us where it is.
Is it a shoebox?
No, it actually is going to the PTAs. And over, I think it was 4 years, 5 years,
Oh, I thought that
Saline
was-
schools have collected over $77,000.
Wow.
We also are getting money through Myers, although I can't see the reports from them. You have to be able to sign in. So it is going, you know, indirectly, it's going back to the schools through the PTAs.
That's great.
Paul shops a lot.
Trust me.
Karen?
Because Paul brought it up, I signed up for that. I didn't realize that education program was part of that red card.
Red
So I
card.
did that this weekend.
Nicely done. That's good to hear.
So we should probably promote that a little more
Yeah.
next year since we are
Yeah.
getting decent money.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention the boys basketball program is having their first golf outing next Friday, the 19th, which is during our fair, so I can't go. But I'm encouraging everyone that can to sign up a team, go and support the boys basketball team. You can get information on hornets180.com and click on the tab that says golf outing at the top, and they have a pamphlet and sign up information, and it should be a good time. So think about participating.
Excellent.
So just hopping on the idea that teachers work during the summer, I wanted to say I've run into a couple of elementary school teachers who are meeting once a week this summer to try to join the new Common Core curriculum with the ones they've been using and see how they work and how they're going to be able to use them, so they'll be ready to go in the fall.
Sure.
Excellent. Two things. First, it just jumped out of my head. Okay.
What is the second one?
Second, I wanted to say thank you for your update and tying it to the framework with the particular item, line item, and section. I think that's very powerful, showing us where these things fit into the framework so that we can know that we're not spending money somewhere that's not tied directly to something we said, this is important.
Right.
So I really appreciate it. Back to first, the race that my daughter helps put on that is sponsored with community education that goes to fight the disease tuberous sclerosis that my daughter Kate, who was a 2010 graduate, is on July 28th. And it runs out of the high school through Centennial Park and then back and finishes on the high school track. It's a 5K run walk. And
8 a.m. type of.
8 a.m. on Sunday, the 28th.
What, do you know what it's called? What's it?
The Steppin' Up, that's what I was trying to remember. There we go. It just takes a while for it to come back around. So yes, and you can go to the
Community ed
Community
website.
Ed website and sign up for it. We are now pushing that, trying to get a little publicity out for it, so.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And we have sponsors from around town.
Just real quick, Norma Freeman, I'd like to thank her. I don't know how she snuck out of here the way she did, but it sounds like something she'd do, you know, to kind of avoid the attention. But she's put a lot of good voices out there in the community, so I want to thank her. And then today, Ms. Waltz and I met with Allison Collins on the flag program, kind of the last. We have all the flags. She's going to send the marching orders to Mr. Ellis to get to the buildings. And I think she, maybe next week, gets her final
I think the
gold
18th.
award, or I think it is, so.
Excellent.
Just want to thank her for doing a great job, and then probably next fall, we can go in and look at the rooms and see if all the flags are.
So who's installing them all?
Each building, I think, maintenance person.
Yeah, the custodial needs it, we'll just.
I thought maybe Allison had a drill and was gonna get another.
Well, construction pad. I think originally she was going to, but I think she's going to send them a guideline of how to do it. So
I'm sure.
if it's not right, I wouldn't want to be whoever I'm going.
Okay. Chief, are you going to receive a kind of a final report from her, or?
We actually
No,
probably
we
have
have.
the numbers and exactly how much was raised and how many flags we purchased.
and that kind of stuff?
We can bring that the next time.
Was she a senior this year? Or is she back?
Yep, she's going to U of M.
Okay.
She's got about 3 weeks off. She's going to take a break and
I
then.
think we should probably give her a plaque or something for all the flags in all the buildings somewhere.
It was a lot of work.
I think that would be a
Yeah, I
good
think
idea
maybe the
also.
first day of school, we should have some type of ceremony
Maybe.
and invite her to that. That might be appropriate. And, Diane, did you have anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. The only thing that I have is I did send out an email that got kicked back to me. I resent it out to the board, suggesting that Monday, August 19th at 6 o'clock, that we have the retreat. If I could just get some quick feedback from everybody that that's an agreeable date. I've heard from Todd.
I think I'm good.
Okay. And, you know, that'll be no more than a 3-hour session. The focus will really be to kind of plan our board activities through the balance of the year, maybe even beyond the first of the year. What type of topics we want to have at future work sessions. I'm sure Scott's going to have some more on the strategic framework. So it'll be a good way to kind of recalibrate our compass before the school year starts.
Are we gonna do our goals so they kind of mesh with the
Yeah, we can do
framework?
that.
Now
Sure.
that we have the framework?
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent. Yep. And then, so there'll be more detailed agenda coming out on that.
Did you have a time for that, or
6 o'clock,
6?
and we'll have it here probably in one of the
Evening?
rooms. And may have some food or something like that.
Yeah, I think usually the president takes care of that.
Okay.
Unless you're out of town, then the vice president.
Then we probably won't have any food.
Okay, very good. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
So moved.
Karen, with a second from Todd. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no scheduled reports tonight. We do have a few action items, 5 of them. The chair will entertain a motion to appoint the Trune Law Firm of Lansing, Michigan, and Collins and Blaha, a legal counsel for the school district, for the 2013-14 school year. In addition, the district is authorized to utilize other law firms pending areas of expertise. So moved. Chief?
Support.
Okay. Any discussion? You have anything to add on that,
I can
Steve?
just add, it's consistent with what we've done in previous years, this notion of, well, why would you want multiple law firms? It's looking at their area of expertise, use Trune more for special ed issues, with going through teacher evaluation process, we had different opinion from the different law firms on how that should be approached. Negotiations with Collins and Bly, it just seemed that it made sense for us to have multiple perspectives and use the areas of expertise from different firms here.
And it's a pay-as-we-go type service, so this just, we can put them on retainer with no cost to the district. We pay for the service as we utilize it. Any questions or comments from board members? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chair will entertain a motion to name the following banks or depositories for the various funds of the Saline area schools in fiscal year 2013-14. Comerica Bank, United Bank and Trust, and U.S. Bank.
So moved.
Todd?
Support.
And a second by the chief.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there a reason we don't use local
United
banks?
Bank and Trust is local.
Okay.
And that is our primary banking relationship. All of our accounts are there. Comerica, we have some certificates of deposit for a scholarship account that roll over every year, so we're just kind of tied into that. And then U.S. Bank is actually for our bond issues from before. So primarily all of our banking is with United Bank and Trust.
Okay, thank you.
And Diane, I think we put out a bid for banking services, right?
We
A couple
did,
years
that was,
ago.
gosh, probably 5 years ago, maybe 6.
Yeah, so it's
And
probably maybe time again, maybe, or not. Is that a lot of work?
It's a lot of work,
Okay,
yeah.
Be quiet.
And we've been really happy with United Bank and Trust. They've been a good partner. Yeah, it's a great deal of work to put together the bid and then to transition from one bank to another with all the payroll and everything that we've got planned.
And there's not a lot happening with interest right now. So
Wow.
it's not
No,
like there's a
there's
battle
not.
to give you anything.
I was thinking we were just getting a lot of, I think we're getting a lot of support from like the Ann Arbor, New Ann Arbor Bank.
Bank of Ann Arbor.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. They have taken on some of our installment purchase agreements or loan agreements
So they are getting some business.
on the other side of the books.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize Scott Graydon, Superintendent, as the primary signer on all checks written by the district, with Janice Warner, Assistant Superintendent of Finance, as alternative on all accounts listed. And the accounts are listed for United Bank and Trust, for Comerica, and for U.S. Bank.
So moved.
Paul?
Second.
With a second from Karen. Any questions or comments?
This one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize Scott Graydon, Superintendent, and Janice Warner, Assistant Superintendent of Finance, as signatories on transfers of investment monies. Karen? And second. And Dave? And Ned. Any questions or comments on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the proposed resolution to place a proposal on the November 5th, 2013 ballot for the renewal of an operating millage as submitted by Assistant Superintendent Warner.
So moved.
Chief, with Diane as a second. And that. Janice, would you like to speak to that?
Sure. Our current operating millage expires in December of 2013, so that will affect our summer collections of 2014. That's when it would kick in. Right now, the ballot states that the amount of taxes which may be assessed would be limited to 22.2867 mils, and that's exactly the amount that we're levying right now. It's important to note that this levy is on non-homestead property only, so a taxpayer's principal residence is not subject to this tax. We want to have the millage go out for 10 years, so it would expire in December of 2023. and we would receive approximately $7.9 million in property tax revenue in 2014 from this millage. If it did not pass, the state still assumes that you're receiving this when they calculate their portion of the foundation allowance. So if it didn't pass, we would lose, almost $8 million in revenue next year. The reason that it states 22.2867 is because of the Headley rollback or the Headley override. The Headley rollback was passed in 1978, and what that means is when annual growth on existing property is greater than the rate of inflation, you can only include that rate of inflation, so it has to be rolled back. So right now, our millage is permanently rolled back to 17.3357 mils. But because we have that additional millage, that's the Headley override, we can take part of that to bring us full back up to 18 mils. And so that 22 point whatever is the total of both of those, the millage plus the override. Let's see, I think that's about it.
And I think it's important to note that this is not a tax increase.
No.
It's a renewal of a millage that has been around for a long time.
Right.
And we would anticipate that we would get overwhelming support from the community to pass this.
Yes, yes. And it's also very important to note that it is on the non-homestead. It's the taxpayers that vote this in, but for most of them, it's not going to affect them. It's on non-homestead.
And consistent with what other districts are going through as well.
Absolutely.
So
Especially
non-homestead would include businesses?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it does not affect the individual homeowner?
Right. Unless they have two properties, a primary residence and a non-primary.
Right.
Their non-primary would be
Okay.
levied this tax.
So the Headley rollback, over time, in recent history, growth has not been higher than inflation, I don't
Right.
believe.
Right.
Has the number changed?
No,
To
once
make
it's
that up,
rolled
or
back,
once
once it's rolled back, that's permanent.
Okay.
So local governments, I think that municipalities have this as well. They can never regain that growth. So once it's rolled back, and then you have to take that override portion to make you whole to the 18 mils again.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments by board members? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no discussion items tonight. We do have three items on the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to authorize the following items, A through C, as part of the consent agenda. Dave
Second.
and Diane with a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Items scheduled on the next agenda. Do we have anything at this point?
We don't at this point.
Okay. At this point, there's another opportunity for public comment. If members of the audience would like to address the board, they may do so now for up to 3 minutes. Okay, no takers. The next Board of Education meeting will be held on August 13th, 2013 at 6:30 here at the Liberty Media Center. With that, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Todd?
Support.
Paul? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So
This has been an SCTN production.